Christian Watson spoke to reporters just yesterday and gave a pretty big update for his injury status heading into the 2025 NFL season. Welcome to the Packers Report, everybody. I am your host, Joey Petersen. Hope you enjoyed the restful weekend. Now we're back at it. We got a full week's coverage ahead for every single one of you guys. And if you guys want to lock us in, make sure you are here for every video because we post daily right here at the Packers Report. Make sure to hit that sub button. It's double awesome right now because we are battling our Vikings Now channel, which is our Vikings channel right here at Chat Sports. And throughout the month of May, 5 days in, we're up 3 subs. It's a very slim margin. So I need you guys to do me one big favor. Help me out. Hit that sub button so we can prove to all Vikings fans that there's no better fan base than right here with the Green Bay Packers. So, Christian Watson spoke for the first time in a very, very long time, ever since the injury happened in January, and really since the playoffs have been over in mid-January. Everybody's kind of just been waiting, wondering how the rehab's been. You haven't heard much from him, haven't heard much from Matt LaFleur. Well, that all changed just yesterday when he said the following. Recovery is going really well. I'm in a really good spot. Just keeping the mentality there, just working. I've got a couple more months ahead of me, but I'll keep attacking every day. I am in a really good spot. And let's be honest, guys, this is great news because, while we know not to expect him anytime in the next little bit, the fact that he multiple times said that he's in a really good spot, I think is phenomenal. Because if he wasn't in a really good spot, then I think he wouldn't have even tried mentioning that. I think it probably would have just said, you know what? Getting better day by day, still working at it, still grinding at it. But the fact that he kept saying time after time that he's in a really good spot, I think he means it. And I think that means great things for the Packers offense heading into 2025 to round out their 2025 season. Now, I will give a little bit of caution, okay? I think a lot of you guys are going to hear that. And you're going to hear the part where he says, I've got a couple more months ahead of me. As in, he'll be back in a couple of months. Don't look at it that way, okay? He tore his ACL January 5th. January 5th. 4 months ago. He does not just have a couple more months ahead of him until he's back. I don't know what he meant by I've got a couple more months ahead of me. Maybe a couple more months of like intense rehab before he starts coming back when they're in training camp and doing maybe team-specific, sport-specific, position-specific workouts. But that does not mean that he'll be back in a couple of months. We still can expect him to be off for a good amount of time. The injury history has been something to note for Christian. There's been a lot of them. Enough to put 8 little sections in this graphic. He had the unspecified knee tear in June of his rookie season. Then he pulled his hamstring in September, had a concussion in October. Then that hamstring gave him problems again in the following August. Finally strained it in December, missed 5 games. And then sprained the ankle in September of this past season. Had the knee bruise in December of this past season. And then tore the ACL in January. And this is also frustrating because I'm a very big Christian Watson fan. It is a very rare combination to have the size that he does mixed with the speed that he does as well. And I'm not just talking size as in the fact that he's a really tall guy, but I'm talking size as in he is built like he's Calvin Johnson. Like he is a big, big player. But he also has the speed of like Jamison Williams. That combination is incredibly rare. And I get it. Sometimes people can get frustrated with the hands. People can get frustrated with the drops. But I think every single person out there would agree that this offense is better with him in the lineup. And I would love to see his career, how it would look if injuries hadn't have been the problem. Now they have, right? Been a big problem. But now I'm excited to see how he comes back from the latest one and if that affects him going into the future, okay? How do you guys feel? Let me know down below. Are you worried about Watson's injury history? If you are, let me know by saying yes. And if you're not, let me know by saying no in the comment section. I'm a little worried about it, but at the same time, I expect that when he comes back, he's going to be the same player that he was before. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Now, I do want to give you a reminder. Christian Watson's dad did give an update in January. That honestly might be the last legitimate update that we had, of course. He's at NFL Hitman 33, tweeted this out, former Packers safety. He'll have his surgery soon and should be back around week 12 with a normal rehab. There's nothing outside of what's typical with his injury, simple ACL and minor cleanup. He's just doing usual pre-surgery strengthening, prehab to get ahead of any post-surgical atrophy. He remains in good spirits, and he's ready to attack this with everything that he's got. And so from what we heard in January, right, it's a normal ACL tear. You can expect him around week 12. And what we just heard from Christian yesterday, maybe we're thinking he's back a week before that, week 11, week 10. The entire timeline that I've been saying and I've been speaking about over the past couple of months has been most likely like late November, which is kind of around week 12. That's more like early December. But still, with everything his dad said a couple months ago, mixed with what he said, I think is good news. And then Matt LaFleur even spoke this past week on Christian Watson and said he looks like a freak, like he always does, in a positive way. Just a great attitude. He's working hard. That's really all you can ask. And with all of this discussion from his dad, from himself, Matt LaFleur, I just want to make it clear, I'm not trying to rush him back one bit, and I don't think that Green Bay should be trying to rush him back one bit at all, because I think they addressed this very, very well in the draft. If you look right now at the depth chart, of course, you still got similar starters, Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed. Matthew Golden is thrown in there because of the Christian Watson injury, and we all know he's going to be a starter even when Christian Watson does return. But you added Savion Williams as well. That means that now, before, when Dontavian Wicks was your fourth best wide receiver, now he's probably somewhere around your sixth. And I still think he's a good wideout, but I think he fits a lot better as the sixth best wide receiver than the fourth. Right? And after this draft, after what you added in the first 3 rounds, in the first and the third round with Savion and Golden, you're going to be fine without Watson. You're going to be fine. I really would have worried about this team, really would have worried about this wide receiver core if they didn't address wide receiver. And you're going into the season with no Christian Watson for the first 2/3, 3/4 of it, and you just were trying to get by with Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks. But now that you added Matthew Golden, which many people thought was the best wide receiver in the class, and Savion Williams in that third round, who you can do anything in the world with, you got to feel pretty good going with it about this group going forward without Watson. So coming up, Matthew Golden, the first-round pick, actually did have some things to say about Christian Watson, about how great of a teammate he's been. Make sure you guys stick around for that. But I need you guys to share the love for me, okay? If you are going to wish Christian Watson a speedy recovery, if you want to wish him a speedy recovery, do me one big favor. Like today's video if you want him back on the field as soon as possible. So Dominic Yates of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel said, Golden said he's heard from receivers on this team, mentioning Watson, Hardman, and Jaden Reed by name. And talked to Watson and said he saw him in the facilities after he was drafted. And Matthew Golden went on to say, they all told me it's time to go to work. For a rookie coming in, they gave me some stuff that can help me down the road. And I just absolutely love this because this is exactly what you want to see from guys competing with each other, right? To welcome in a rookie who this team felt was so needed that they broke the streak, 22 years long, of not drafting a wide receiver in the first round. They broke that with Matthew Golden because they felt he was needed that bad. And yet, still these guys in Doubs, Reed, and Watson, the guy who many are saying is a Christian Watson replacement, Golden is, which I don't necessarily agree, they're welcoming him in. They're being nice to him, being welcoming, telling him, giving him any advice that they can. And I just think that's a fantastic thing going forward for this group. Regardless of everything, Watson's still grinding. Okay, he posted this about a month ago, back on the treadmill, saying back soon. Again, we don't need to take that for the fact that he's going to be back soon because we know it won't be for a while. But everything that we've heard for him points in the direction that he's had a really, really good rehab so far. I don't want to go out on a limb and say he's ahead of schedule, but I think he's going to take where he is, okay? And he's just going to continue to look and try to get better every single day. I've still got a lot of faith in him, okay? I do. I hope you guys feel the same way. What he's able to do in 2024 with only 29 catches, having a 21.4 average is absolutely insane. Obviously, he hasn't put up gaudy numbers yet in his career. He hasn't been on the field enough to do so, in my opinion. But if he comes back and if he's a little bit more durable after this injury, which I know a lot of times after an ACL tear, you're not less durable, or you're not more durable. You're usually less. I'm really excited about this future. Now, I don't think that Matthew Golden is a Christian Watson replacement. I think that, well, yes, they're both very speedy wide receivers. They do things very differently. They're two different wide receivers. And I think they're only going to benefit each other when they're both back on the field at the same time. Give me your best guess down below. Get in the comment section. What week will Watson return? Is it going to be week 12, like his dad said? Is it going to be earlier based on the news we just heard today, or is it going to be later? Take your guess in the comment section down below. And when you guys are coming back up to the video, make sure you guys hit that big red sub button. Join us right here on the Packers Report for daily coverage of your favorite team in green and gold. We cover them better than anybody else on this platform. We've been growing like crazy, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. So you guys better get a part of it before leaves you at the station. We'll see you next time.